Hi, Eddie Troxler here. This is another episode of Jazz Chat. JazzChat.org. You can find me and at FATV. We're at FATV Studios in Fitchburg, Massachusetts. I do have a guest today. My guest, I'm quite honored to have as a good friend, and also is the mayor of this the city of Fitchburg, doing an awesome job too.
Thanks, Eddie.
And I think someone was saying the reason I asked you was someone was saying something about there's no places to play, and they were saying how it was much better in some other town or something. But there's tons of places to play.
There's a lot of places with live music in Fitchburg.
There are, and you listen to a lot of music, and you attend a lot of these events.
I mean, I do the best I can. A lot of them are late night.
Well, probably a lot more than me because I fortunately I get to play a lot. So anyway, Sam Squailia, the mayor of Fitchburg.
Thank you. Happy to be here, Eddie.
Awesome. So you're not a musician, but we've talked about.
Nope, I listen to a lot of music.
Yeah, she comes to hear me play, and I'm grateful now I get to play a lot of jazz. I know that's probably not the genre you go out seeking, but for me it's a more direct, creative approach. Because I'll probably never play a jazz tune the same twice. Whereas I get in these classic rock bands from time to time.
You got to play it exactly the same as it's always been played.
The country band. Well, why don't you just put the recording on? To me, that's. But I.
Jazz can be more fluid. It can go in different directions.
And it does seem to. I know there's a lot of different forms of jazz, and then there's the crossover. Blues and jazz, and then we call it fusion. Originally meant fuse rock and jazz, but it's around a lot, And for me personally, I ended up in Fitchburg. I'd never heard of the place. The only thing when I lived in Boston, I think it tend to make the weather maps a lot. Back when we used real TV, we would turn on the weather.
we get good weather here.
Well, I don't know. It was always, I compared to Boston, you usually get more snow,
Oh, yeah.
and me and my
the
wife.
News agencies usually come to Fitchburg.
They do, and that's for me it has worked out really good. We were able to buy a house out here with more space. We were living in a condo in Boston on top of each other. They call it a one bedroom, but it was more like a studio with a big closet. And Boston even then was getting overpriced. And I think for me, cities in general the artists tend to make it kind of cool. Like you can think Greenwich Village in the 60s or San Francisco in the 60s. But then they price the artists out, or Austin.
Well, the artists make places that people want to be, and make it interesting. If everything was just bland and boring, you wouldn't want to be here.
That's true, and I think personally, and Sam too. I hope that Fitchburg right now is this melting pot because we have a lot of stuff going on. We have someone came to hear me last night and forced me into playing the Cultural Alliance. I get them all mixed up. There's a Cultural Council, the Cultural Alliance. It's the one that's Fitchburg, right?
Well, there's the Fitchburg Cultural Council and the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance, which is like a group of many different cultural organizations. So the Cultural Council is a government program and a government-appointed commission, and Fitchburg Cultural Alliance is a 501c3 with a collection of artists.
Oh, and so I think there's...
The Cultural Alliance has the Main Street, Christchurch, Main Street Studios.
That's it. They asked me to play there Tuesday.
For the annual meeting?
Yes. Helen. And I was kind of a part of that. It's been a while back when they had a place it was Rollstone Studios on the
Yep.
600 block of.
Yep, that's Fitchburg Cultural Alliance.
Yeah, because I was kind of teaching. I had a store in Peterborough, New Hampshire, for just a short time, a couple of years, and I was working all the time to break even, so it was kind of a hassle. But I was still teaching some, and I had a studio there at Rollstone, and I had joined the Cultural Alliance. Sorry, but the Cultural Council is where we get the grants, right?
That's correct.
And that's a great opportunity. And it's, people always say, you need a grant writer. If I can fill out that stuff, it's not difficult at all.
It's not that hard. It's an online form, and the Cultural Council members will help you,
Absolutely.
guide you through the process, if you need it.
Yeah, it's absolutely. It's just pretty much a fill-in-the-blank type thing. And they, what they want is something that will serve the city. There's certain guidelines that, and really, Joe is really good. That is now a
City councilor.
Yeah.
Joe Bowen was
Yeah,
an
yeah.
excellent chair of the Cultural Council. Now Eva Kelly,
Mm-hmm.
I believe, was voted in as the chair.
Okay, I don't know her yet, but I'll probably meet them sometime.
Ricardo
soon.
Barros, the artist. Have you met him?
I think
Photography, and his wife does paintings.
yes, I saw
He's on the Cultural Council now.
his work at the place beside Poppers where I play.
Yes,
What's-
exactly.
that's,
Gallery Marquee.
Okay, so that's some exciting stuff, and that's going on in Fitchburg, and I know people ride through. They say, "Oh, it looks like a dump," but a lot of those buildings.
We gotta break the eggs to bake the cake.
That's it.
Okay, we're fixing the underground infrastructure. We're doing a lot of renovation to the buildings downtown. So you're going to see a lot more action in the next couple of years because we're seeing huge interest and investment.
That's true, and I'm excited about the 500 block because that
Oh, yeah.
looks kind of dumpy, and that's where Dawn is moving.
That's going to be huge,
Poppers.
right?
Yeah. The Poppers Pantry will move there because I guess the theater block is coming down.
The theater block is currently vacating the tenants. They are looking for the next phase in the redevelopment. Exactly what that next phase is, I'm not sure. I've heard some rumors, so I'm not at liberty to share rumors yet. But, they've been telling us any day now they're going to have an announcement. But
Yeah, that's I don't know. I know a lot of these, and I know Thayer. When I first moved out here, I worked for Thayer Symphony until they closed. And they were trying to buy that theater, and
it's a big money.
yeah, it would be a lot less expensive. Well, you're an architect, or were.
I did engineering, yeah.
Engineer.
Yeah.
So, and that's another thing about Sam. You could have made a lot more money doing that, I'm sure, but you were, and I know her true, desires to help Fitchburg. It's not political gains or
That's
money.
true. That's true, Eddie. I work a
and-
lot of hours that I
know, and you're always there. So
But,
so
well,
really,
that's what we need. We need that on the ball. Like keep going. Connecting everybody. Schmoozing everybody, muscling where we need to, making sure we're on the ball. Making sure we're on the ball so that nothing gets dropped through the cracks.
and it's working because I see stuff happening. Since you've been in what a couple of years.
I'm
now?
on year 3. Can you believe it?
Wow, that's amazing, and doing an awesome job. Reelected by default, right?
Well, technically, I ran against blank, so the voters had infinite options.
Oh,
So,
but you even if you were up against, I'm sure, but the people that are honest, there's I think with your position, there's always going to be some. The naysayers or
Naysayers?
well, the one that holds up the signs.
Oh yeah. Well, there's political nonsense that gets thrown around. There's people that want positions of power for their own personal gain. There's people who just want it for their ego. There's a lot of competing interests and nonsense. So that we've always got to keep fighting against that too.
And you're really good at that. And I was thinking how we relate this to playing. I'm a musician, and most people who watch this are musicians. Maybe not. I think a lot of Fitchburg residents just watch this because I'm in Market Basket or something. Oh yeah, I saw your show.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm thinking, well, don't you have a life?
I mean, the access channels where you learn all the good Fitchburg stuff, Fitchburg Access Television, and this production quality is the best. I mean, look at this cool studio. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome, and we can, there's really nice equipment. If I had to, invest in some of this equipment, and the staff here is so helpful, and it's like super inexpensive to join the
What is it, $45
$40
a year?
a year, yeah. And you can use their equipment. You can go take classes on their camera. They'll teach you how to do all that stuff, editing, all that stuff. There's computer stations where you can edit, and the staff is super knowledgeable about all of that stuff.
FATV.
FATV, don't forget that. Yeah, and it's a nonprofit as well, so they could always use some
Donations.
yeah
Support.
yeah. So yeah, this bringing the arts into Fitchburg. Another thing I was always attracted about Fitchburg, for me, me and my wife, we both worked in Boston when we first moved out here, so it's on the commuter rail. If you're,
The train to Boston starts in Fitchburg.
Yeah, that's true, and it's it's driving can be stressful if you drive during rush hour. The train, you can sleep, you can read if you like to read.
Yeah, I can work on my laptop.
Yeah, free Wi-Fi.
Especially from Fitchburg, you get the first seat, so you get you can grab that little table seat, and I can work on my laptop.
Yeah, so that's super convenient. I think, I live near the station, but I think you can park there for quite inexpensive. You can even park indoors,
I think the weekend is free to park, and weekdays are like $4. And I think Wachusett Station's free.
Yeah,
to park.
And so still for me, if I go somewhere on an airplane, I just
just pop on the commuter rail. What do you take it to the Silver Line?
Yeah, you can get
Silver
off
Line
at,
right into the airport.
Yeah, you can get off there at Porter Square, I think, before you even get into Boston.
Yeah, you get the Porter, and then you take what do you take? The Red Line to the Silver Line. Yeah.
Yeah, or you can go all the way to North Station if you want, but it's takes a little bit long. Or there's a couple of different ways. We used to, before the Silver Line, we would have to take the Blue Line.
Yeah. The Silver Line's really convenient.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's basically just a bus that's like a subway.
Yeah, and it goes around the terminals, right? And it's free, right? Once you're on the train.
There's no additional funds. Once you pay your subway. Your subway fee of what, $2.75?
I don't know. It has been a while now. Now it's all.
So the commuter rail on the weekend is $10. Weekdays is what, $12.50?
I think
each way.
So yeah, for me that has worked out good, and and then even when I lived in Boston, I was playing a lot, but it's tough to, it's really competitive, whereas out here there's not.
Yeah, places. So you were talking about places that you can hear or play live music in Fitchburg. I mean, I know you're at Dario's regularly and at Tacos Tequila.
Yeah.
And then we have Power Surge, the new barcade.
Yeah, I just
They
saw
also have
that.
live music quite often.
I just saw that the Led Zeppelin band was going to play there.
Yeah.
They're really nice people. They've come into my shop a few times.
Yeah, then you've got The Cellar. With Mike
Cellar,
Roy, who's using the Mill Street stage. I mean, there is live music during the summer. What? Almost every Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Almost every weekend.
Lots of music, and if you're just trying to break into some performing, there's a lot of open mics.
Yeah, the Canvas by Coffee Core is doing open mics.
That, and then I think they do something at the Boulder mic.
At the Boulder they do regular Irish nights
They
where
do
they
an
kind
Irish
everyone
night.
kind of like does like gets together and does like Irish music with.
I've been there before for
Yeah?
that. For some reason, I'm not really that into Irish music, but
Yeah, I mean
but
it's
actually they did sound really good when I went by. I said, well, this is not bad.
it's
'Cause-
it's a good group.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
They're really, and all of these. There's also the Paddock. Is that Fitchburg? Or
The
that,
Paddock,
It's right
yeah.
down the line.
Nope,
but-
it's in Fitchburg.
Okay.
And
So-
then the Paddock, and then you've got
They have the-
Partners, who has a lot of live music. The Marconi Club regularly has live music. Eastwood Club.
Yeah, those are really good. And I was going to say, as well, the Paddock has an open blues jam. I think it's on Thursday night.
They still doing that?
As far as I know.
Cool.
I did go by there a few times. It's and that it really those circuits they're really supportive. So if you're, if it's your first time performing, because I'm not. I can do it now. I can do stuff like this, but for the longest time, I used to think I was going to throw up before I went on stage, and it was just,
Now it's just old hat.
well, it's I do feel more comfortable at it. Maybe I don't think about it the same way. But even when I was a teacher, not in front of the kids, but if I had to speak in front of all the parents or something, that was like still.
They say, the number 1 and number 2 fear: public speaking, then death.
Oh well,
People are more afraid of public speaking than dying. So
Some
you're not
are,
alone.
But you're a natural at it,
Yeah, I don't know.
that maybe it's that extrovert personality, right?
I don't know what course of events led to me not caring what other people think.
And I think that's a lot of it. Yeah, because I might bomb a show, but everybody plays a bad set every now and then.
Yeah, it's all mindset.
Yeah, and that sometimes that can be good publicity.
Another one, Hollis Hills Farm.
That's another.
During all this, what is it? Probably April to October.
That's
They've got
true.
outdoor music, which is almost always free.
And
then they've got, where you can bring your kids, your dogs, your family. You can get
that's
alcohol.
nice.
You don't have to get alcohol. You can get ice cream, food,
That's
animals.
a really nice place.
It's just, it's got everything. Hollis
and I think-
the views.
I think Poppers is going to be there temporarily till
Poppers is talking about moving to Hollis Hills and kind of running the show
you just
on the food side.
a quick plug for myself. I hardly ever do, but my Sunday brunch gig.
Oh, Sunday brunch at Poppers, that too.
Yeah, that
jazz brunch.
So if they have to move at the end of March,
Would they
right,
do jazz brunch?
They would do it over at Hollis Hills.
How
so
awesome would that be?
because I have played there in that room before. It's a really nice room with
yeah.
all the wood. It doesn't.
During the maple season,
Yeah.
I've listened to bands play up there
Yeah,
while
it smells really good too.
eating breakfast with real maple syrup.
Yeah, they're cooking that maple syrup.
Oh, the best.
It's like, yeah. So be on the lookout for that. And there's a lot of the bigger, larger local bands that are
Play
more
at
well
Hollis.
known. Yeah, they're. I don't know the names of all of them, but I should get out more, but I'm too busy playing.
I hear you. I hear you.
But really, whatever type of music or art you're into, I think Fitchburg has that to offer. And if you're a professional artist, musician, whatever, we're not that far from Boston or from New York or Montreal too. I go there for a jazz festival. So if you're a working musician, I've had to do shows up and down the Cape and all that stuff. So it's a good area. If you think about demographics, I guess at one time the United States was the best country, and the best quadrant of this country should be the Northeast. I hope.
Yeah, it's getting tough. It's getting tough.
But I'm originally from North Carolina, Greensboro, which was a fairly big city, probably bigger.
I've heard of it.
Bigger than Worcester.
Can't say I've ever been there.
It's I mean, I always hung out at the college, which was also a melting pot for the arts because I've always done that. So and to see, well, Greensboro was the same. Like Main Street had. I have notes to tell myself to look at that because I'm always looking down. But that's the one, the green one,
Oh,
that we're supposed to look at every now and then. But they tried everything to get people wouldn't go downtown. It's like I think with cities all over the country, maybe in the like the late 70s, early 80s, whatever, the malls moved in, so people stopped going downtown. Because when I was really little, and I've seen old pictures of Fitchburg, 60s.
yeah.
Um,
Well, and then, cars got more prolific and faster and
Well,
shopping malls
well,
and,
yeah, it was a thing
things
too.
change.
That's true. It was a thing when I was like 5. I can remember because I had to go to kindergarten in town. I grew up out in the country, but I had to go to school, kindergarten in the city. And I think my father had businesses or something. But it was, downtown. There was the Belks, the Woolworths, and all that. It was all downtown.
And back in the day when cars got faster and shopping malls started, the engineers were done designing the highway systems and they needed something to do. So we decided to move the engineers to main streets and said, well, we should move cars faster through main streets.
Mm-hmm.
So we put we changed the two-way systems to one lane, both direction highways, basically. Now it's not so, now downtown's not so walkable, not so friendly, not so safe, not so interesting.
But I think the world or the United States in general wants to kind of go back, or I do.
We're going. I mean, look at Fitchburg Main Street. We, in 1962, I think we changed to one way, and here we are in 2000 and what was it? 2021. We changed it to two-way.
Yeah, and that's that. I think it's helping. I know the Boulder. I'm really glad the Boulder is.
It's definitely improvement.
Yeah,
it's absolutely improvement. It's improvement for safety. It's improvement for walkability. It's improvement for access. We just need to continue to build on that and make, safety improvements and lighting improvements. Cross intersection improvements. Sidewalk improvements. There's a lot of work to do, and we're doing that right now.
And Sam is the person. I'm a small business owner too. Anytime I've needed anything, they can help you. With sign work. If you're thinking about opening a business, Fitchburg is awesome. I mean, they're not going to give you everything. You got to work. I mean, running a business is work.
Of course,
you got to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But really, there's a lot of opportunities and a lot of funding available. And if they don't spend it, it doesn't get spent, right? It has to be spent because really, as far as I would encourage anybody to open a business. And I think, as back to those malls, I think people got tired of, any mall in the country was the same 5 stores, it's no different, so what's the use in traveling, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a Starbucks and a
walking
Belks
walking an interesting main street with small little shops.
I think that's awesome, and they some do seem to come and go, but some stay. I mean, I've been there a while, I suppose. I mean, I've been.
What have you been there? 10 years now?
I think so. It's amazing. It doesn't seem that long. I know when I went in, when I had my grand opening. Lisa was going out, and Dina Telly was coming in.
So that's 2015. So that's over 10 years.
Wow.
That's 11 years, Eddie.
So, lately I've been, gratefully, I work at Fitchburg State teaching some. So I tell people to call, rather than keep regular hours. Plus I'm playing a lot. But I'm still a business, and I still teach guitar and piano there at my shop. And
you've got musical instruments for sale, and
I do, yeah.
The equipment for the musical instruments, the accessories.
Absolutely, I can order it. I think I'm still the only music store in Fitchburg, right?
Yes.
I mean, I have been for a while.
I can't think of another music store other than Eddie's Music, right on Mill Street.
Yeah, on Mill Street, and I always have to tell people type in 37 Boulder Drive, which would have been the coffee shop.
Yep.
Yeah,
But you're right
because-
there.
Yeah, because Mill Street is not drivable. For some reason, the map thing will it tries to tell you can drive from Main Street onto Mill Street.
Really?
It has before.
We gotta fix that.
Yeah, I'm not sure how.
Hmm.
But well, it used to be Cushing Street, which is gone now.
Yeah.
The corner of Cushing and Boulder. But anyway, we're at about 26 minutes, which they cut us off. So what's, I think it's been successful to have you on my show, and I'm super grateful.
Anytime, Eddie. I'm right
that-
across the street from the studios.
That we can bring these arts, and I have a place to play jazz. I'm super grateful, and any of the stuff, anyone who's watching from another city and you're contemplating, well, I need to move somewhere. That Fitchburg is still one of the more, as far as Massachusetts, the most affordable cities, right?
We're definitely one of the most affordable cities in our region, and certainly, the more you move west, I mean, things get adjusted. But Fitchburg is definitely a bargain.
Well, I think,
right now.
Not west of, well, maybe like Gardner and Athol, but like when you get out
I think if you compare tax bills, Gardner
but like
is the only
Amherst is
comparable
more.
city that has a slightly lower tax bill than Fitchburg.
Yeah, I think as you get out toward Amherst, there's a college. There's like
Yeah,
5
then it
or
gets
6
expensive again.
Yeah, and then the
Yeah.
Berkshires are even more expensive. When
Yep,
you get
so
out there. So
It depends, but we've got, all the amenities, we've got all the foundations of success, and we're currently building on them. So, we love artists, and we're working on a cultural district and embracing the arts. So, come on to Fitchburg.
and that's awesome. And they do have that new space, the B.F. Brown. I'm not sure what that's an
Fitchburg
artist.
Arts Community, 68 units of artist preference housing, only the second in the state.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I need to get over there more. I
It's
know
cool.
they did a really good job with that's one of the buildings that was I actually went in there when it was B.F. Brown. When
I went to
first
school
moved-
there.
Really, when I first moved out here, there was some music stuff. I was doing some after school stuff through the 21st Century program, Jennifer Jones,
Oh, yeah.
and but it looked like it needed some work. There was a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But I need to get over there and see it now because I've heard really good things about it,
awesome.
and there's good things going on. So anyway, if you're thinking about Fitchburg, get in touch with the mayor.
Come talk to the mayor.
Really,
We'll guide you.
Anytime
Especially
I've
if you
gone
want to
over
come
the-
business. I mean, I'm not so good at apartments because there's a lot of demand, but we're building more housing now.
Yeah, it's affordable housing too, right?
Well, BF Brown Fitchburg Arts Community is all levels of affordable, but on Main Street, it's largely going to be whatever the market demands.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm excited about all the stuff that's going on. Is there anything you would like to add to?
I think we've said it all, Eddie.
All right, we're at 28 minutes and 54 seconds. Thank you so much for watching jazzchat.org. You can go on that. That's a website. You can also watch these on Fitchburg Access Television, FATV.org.
.org.
Yeah, is it? That's a
And it's
.org?
also on a Roku, Apple TV, Fire Stick.
All right. So Sam Squailia, the mayor of Fitchburg, Massachusetts. Thank you.
Thanks,
Have a
Eddie.
good day.